What's up, all my fight fans? So, David Benavidez fires back at Canelo, says, "Who cares if I only fought one champion?" Well, let's talk about that. I know I just did a rant regarding the status of boxing and why we shouldn't be waiting and why fights need to be made at a certain point, like they should be made now. And that's very true, and I stand by that 100%. But there's a certain point that you also need to understand that it also has to make sense as well. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence makes beyond perfect fucking sense. It makes sense. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia makes sense. Lomachenko versus David Hanley makes sense. Those make sense because you got champions, they got credentials, they got records, they got star status, they got everything that makes sense to make this a perfect fight. Well, what we have with David Benavidez is unfortunate because, yes, he is making a name for himself. Yes, he has fought a couple of fighters, good, well-named fighters like Anthony Durrell and David Lemieux, and knocked these guys out. Well, you got to understand that you are now with Canelo Alvarez, who is just this mega superstar, like beyond superstar. It's like, imagine Andy Ruiz never knocked out Anthony Joshua, never even touched some of these well-known heavyweights. Maybe got a few of them, maybe just did Chris Arreola, and is trying to call out Tyson Fury. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense now, does it? Because what do you have that Tyson Fury is going to gain, or even Usyk that's going to gain, who holds all the belts? Because that's what Canelo is. Canelo holds all the belts. He makes all the money. Like what more? He is by far on the top 3 pound for pound. He may have dropped down ever since his loss to Bivol, but sure. So like, what does he have to gain when it comes to fighting David Benavidez? And I'm getting tired of hearing everybody in the sports world talking about that. They should be talking about that rematch with Bivol. He did lose. He wants to go try to redeem himself, get better training, go into that fight a little bit better, maybe at a different mindset, and try to get that loss back. What David Benavidez needs to do, he needs to go after those different champions, because at the same token, he is right. We do care. Of course, is it going to be an action fight? Absolutely. Is it going to be a fun fight? Absolutely. No doubt about it. But what my advice for David Benavidez is grow your craft. Be better. If you are so confident that you're going to get that fight, or you could beat Canelo, then you're going to be able to beat Canelo next year and the year after and the year after, because Canelo is only going to get older. Canelo is only going to get possibly slower. You are still in his young. I believe he's in his early 20s, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. Maybe I could be wrong about that. Maybe mid-20s, somewhere around there. But still, with being able to build his craft up by going against someone like a Caleb Plant, like a Triple G, like a Danny Jacobs, like a Billy Joe Saunders, like any of these other guys that Canelo's already went through, like he did. It's true. You only beat one world champion, really. And it's not very sellable. And it's not a very big name. Sure, the boxing world is talking about it, but at the end of the day, the world ain't talking about it. The world is not craving for it. The only reason why we want to see Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather is because not the boxing world, the world was talking about it. And only the boxing hardcores are talking about this fight. And you want everybody to be talking about this fight. So you need to be fighting like guys like Caleb Plant. So when you do win, you can't call out Canelo. You can't call him any name underneath the sun. You are making a bigger name for yourself, because then you're not just getting the hardcores to talk about you. You're getting the actual real boxing world to talk about you. Because right now the boxing world, the legit only boxing world that outside of the hardcores, are talking about Tyson Fury, are talking about Anthony Joshua, are talking about Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, and Canelo. These guys are big superstars in the boxing community. You could walk down the street, you're going to tell somebody about Canelo, they're going to know him. Who never even watched boxing. Ryan Garcia, they're going to know him. Tank Davis, they're probably going to know him. Tyson Fury, they're going to know him. You go talk to somebody about David Benavidez, they're probably not going to hear about him. And it's not no disrespect on him. It's just the status that he's at right now. And that's what Canelo is seeing. Like, what do I have to gain from this guy? He has a lot to lose. Absolutely. He has a lot to lose, because if he loses this fight, he's losing his belts. He's losing his pound for pound status. He's losing his star power. He's losing everything. He has nothing to gain. If he wins, what does he win? He beat a young guy, a young fighter. That's basically it. So there really is nothing on the table for Canelo to make him want to, like, you know what? I want to see that guy. I want to face that guy. I want to beat that guy. At the end of the day. Now, if he had a championship, if he goes up to light heavyweight, like, because that's where Canelo seems like he wants to be spending most of his time at, and he wants to get a belt there, then yeah, I can see him getting a belt, and then like, hey, look, I got a belt. You wanted a belt? You want to try to get all the belts at light heavyweight? Well, I got one. Come get me. Then yeah, I could definitely see that fight being made. Why? Because you have something Canelo wants. That's what Canelo's going for. He's not going for easy fights. If he's going for easy fights, he would have probably picked somebody else down the line. He would have probably picked someone lower in the 168 class, or someone lower in the 175 class. But he's not. He's choosing a champion. He's choosing a difficult fight. He's choosing a fighter that he's already lost to. Maybe when he walked in there, he probably thought it was going to be a little easier, but it turns out it's not. So the smart thing to do, if he is ducking fights like that, would to be walking away, right? You want to walk away from something like that, right? No, he wants to go after it again. So what is he thinking? Like, you know what? It's probably easier this time. No. He lost that fight. Fair and square, clear as crystal. 100%. But at the end of the day, if Canelo's ducking all these fighters, why is he going after a fight that he already lost? It does not make no logical sense. Why he's going after him? Because one, he lost to him. One, because he wants to get those belts. And he wants to try to clear out that division now because he's already cleared out the 168-pound division. That's it. Now, the only way, if David Benavidez stays in that division and makes a name for himself, then yeah, he could do that. He could be like beating Triple G, beating Caleb Plant, beating Billy Joe Saunders, and such like that, and like beating him worse than Canelo did, then again, you're making a name for yourself. And more advice to David Benavidez, don't rush it, because we've seen what happened when a younger fighter went against a not much older, because Canelo's really not that much older, but a more higher class too soon. What happened to Fernando Vargas versus Tito Trinidad? One hell of a fight, but Trinidad beat his ass. What happened to Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather? Very, very chess fight, but unfortunately, Floyd Mayweather beat the shit out of him. You know? So it's like, it just goes that way. It just goes that way. You don't want too much too soon. Build up your craft. Build up your style. Let yourself grow, you know, before you get to that higher level. Don't start from that C, B level and try to go to the A+. Don't go from, you know, fighting rank 9 and 8 and then try to go to rank 1. You know, it's like, don't do that. Build your way slowly, because he's going to get there. He's going to get a shot if he believes he's as good as he says he is. If he doesn't, and he's trying to look for that quick payday, then yeah, of course, why not? Go after Canelo. Go after Canelo, get that big payday, and then do the rest of your career afterwards. Or you can actually become the next Canelo, because that's what everyone does. They fight, they continue to grow, and then they end up eventually beating that one superstar, and they become the superstar themselves. But instead, if you're trying to do it too much too soon, well, then that's a different story. And eventually, you're going to have a different outcome. That's just my personal opinion, guys, but I'd like to hear what you guys got to say regarding this. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.